Now stand by for what I hope you'll think is a really exciting episode. We haven't posted many episodes. Actually, we haven't posted any episodes in January because of this one project that we're working on right here. It's almost complete. I have a couple more parts that need to come in, but since most of the parts come in from China, a lot of these parts have been delayed because of the Chinese New Year. So February is coming up. Even though I don't have a few of the parts, they're not really that important to this project here today. But I think you're going to see that this project is one that probably has never been done before. At least I haven't seen it on YouTube. So hopefully you'll be excited about it. So let's go ahead and go back a few weeks, rewind, and take a look at where we started and where we're at today. Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Well, if you've been following the channel, you know we always try to be innovative on something and do an approach that maybe no one else has ever taken before. Well, today we're going to do just that. We are going to do something with our EcoFlow system. We're ordering some solar panels, but I know that the solar panels aren't the greatest when it comes to trying to stand up on their little portable stand that they have. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can fix that problem. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now, if you've been watching the Villa Feliz series on our solar upgrade, you'll see that we not only have solar panels on our roof, we have an inverter inside our basement, we have backup batteries that complement the solar system for nighttime energy, but we also have a secondary backup solution, and that's our EcoFlow Delta Pro and extra batteries that we have inside our generator room. Now, we are wanting to complement that, the EcoFlow itself, with some solar panels. I recently purchased some solar panels, and we are going to put those outside, but the problem that we have is that we need some way to be able to get it from the generator room all the way out to our driveway, because it only comes with a 3-meter cable. Also, we need to have a better way of supporting the panels other than the way that EcoFlow has with their little portable system. They use the folding case to hold the panels, but it's really flimsy, and I think it's really not a good choice. So what we're going to do today, we're going to look at what options do we have with some stuff that we have that we can reutilize around the house here, and we can use that to be able to do a better support system for those panels. Now, I got to thinking, what can I use inside my garage? Some existing things that I have that I can use for a support mechanism for the EcoFlow solar panels. And I just tore down this tent that we had for a recent function, and I got to thinking, you know what? This is lightweight. It's lightweight aluminum. It has a lot of pieces inside here that I might be able to reutilize instead of going out and spending a lot of money on any type of metal. And this wasn't very expensive. I think this was the equivalent of about $60 for a tent system that we had for doing entertainment. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to take this and make a portable folding stand system that will complement the solar panels that will be coming here in a few days. So when I got to thinking about this, my basic requirements are I need something that's about 2.5 meters wide, something that's about 1 meter high, because that's the size of the EcoFlow 400 watt solar panel that we're going to be using here. I also need something that's going to be easily collapsible so that I can move it around, and I need something that also I can angle. So now these come with all these little connectors, and this normally, you can see how this actually pulls apart, and I think I might be able to use this system right here to make something that will fit the requirement. Now I'm going to start by removing these connections. I'm going to separate the entire back of this tent frame from the front, and so I want to isolate. So I'm going to take this apart right here. I'll take these apart right here. So basically what will end up happening, this should be able to go at an angle. What I want to do is I want to be able to lean this portion back, and what I'll probably also have to do is probably remove this section right here. So what I'm looking at, sort of like an A-frame to begin with, and then what we'll do, we'll try to use the existing components on here to shore it up. Now with the section taken out, the center section, we We have the back installed, the front's installed, and it looks fairly good, but remember, we still have to be able to angle this section up in the front and back. Now the challenge for the angle was quite easy. What I ended up doing was I drilled these holes in the front for the leg. The leg has a little pin inside here. This was normally used to raise the height of the tent up, but what this is going to do now, you'll see this will allow me to use multiple angles. Now by doing this, I can change the angle of attack. When I say the angle of attack, the angle that this will approach the sun. So I can change it to get better angle against the sun during the daytime, which is usually a 90-degree angle perpendicular to the sun itself. To allow for this to compress for storage, basically fold all up, I have to make sure that these connections here are not permanent. They're not like the rest of the connections that we have here. Those can stay. But so that this can fold like an accordion, and I've already removed the screws from these right here, we're going to do something called rivet nut installation. Let me show you what a rivet nut looks like. I have an assortment of different types with different types of machine threading inside here. I have M3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that inside here. So we're going to use something like, let's see, I think this is the M6. We're going to use M6, which is 6 millimeters. And what we're going to do, well, it's easier to show you than to try to explain it right here. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I've already installed this one right here. I drilled a 6 millimeter size hole inside the aluminum right here, which is the thickness or the width of the actual portion that's going to go inside. Then I push it inside, and then I use a tool. This is a rivet nut tool right here, and what you do is you take this and you put it on the end just like this right here. You go all the way up to the very end. Now, if this were inside your piece of aluminum channel that you have inside here, you push it all the way up to the edge right here, then you take both of these and you pry them back, or you pull them back like this. Now, if this were screwed down all the way, what would happen is the back side of this rivet nut would crush up against the inside of the aluminum channel, and it would form a nice seal inside there, so this won't move in or out. This will stay permanently inside there. And then you could use your screw from the outside, your bolt that's going to go through, and it would be able to go through this section of the rivet nut. Here it is the next day. I was waiting on the delivery of the solar panels themselves. Inside this bag, this packaging, this box should be the EcoFlow solar panels, the 400-watt solar panels. So let's go ahead and do a box opening while we're here, and then this is actually a lot heavier. I got to tell you, this is like about 50 pounds. I think that's what it's rated at, is about that. And we'll put the specs up as what the weight is, but it's much heavier than I thought. And that's what is going to sit on our little makeshift stand here, and then we have to find a way to mount it to the top. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a box opening. Now, I always like doing box openings. The box openings, especially, I like recording them on video, because not only is it good for box opening videos, if you have any damage inside, a lot of the shippers, especially over here in the Philippines, they require that you show a video of the opening before they will do a return or a refund if there's any problem with the actual shipment itself. If there was damage done. Now when you open up the box, you see immediately the protective case that the solar panels are on. We're going to open this up in just a minute. It comes with an accessory pack. It's got like some carabiners in here, little connectors that you have. You can see on the little diagram right here. And that's what you connect the solar panels to the case itself when you lean it up. And this is where really the problem is, and this is the main reason. This little case right here, from what I understand, it's not quite as strong as a lot of people like it to be, and it doesn't cover enough area to be able to put all four of the panels up straight without them being very flimsy, and in the event you have some wind or something like that, possibly causing it to fall over. And that's the whole object of today's exercise right here, is to build something that's a little bit better than what comes from the EcoFlow folks. Now they claim this is a portable system, and it is a portable system, as you can see. It's about as portable as you can be. But with 50 pounds on your shoulder, give or take, it actually takes quite an effort to move this thing around. So you probably don't want to carry this backpacking very deep on your camping trip. You want to make sure that you're pretty close using your vehicle to drop this off, where you're actually going to deploy it. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, using the instructions on the box cover, we're just going to go ahead and open this up, and then we're going to unfold it. And we're going to set it up. We're going to set it up here inside the basement, and like it would be set up if you were actually going to use this setup from EcoFlow to do the support for your solar panels. Now the carrying case itself is supposed to be what you are going to use like this right here as a support. Now the instructions have you get 4 of these hooks, these snap hooks they call them. They're just like carabiners, and what you do is you put them on each one of these little pieces of material that are on each one of the corners of the carrying case. Now I was able to get the 2 top snap hook connectors installed pretty easily. That's probably for a one-man type of an installation. That's probably the easiest way, is to do the top first and then mess with the bottom. That way you have some support on the top. Now I'm going to try to get the bottom connected up. Now after a slight amount of struggling, it wasn't that difficult with one person, but really it would come along much easier with 2 people, if you had 2 people. But my observations are the same that so many other people have said, and it has to do with the flimsiness. Now in a pinch, this would be great. If you had no wind, it was very calm, and you want to set something up like this right here, it would be fine. I also made another observation around here too. When they talk about adjusting the angle using the case, you take this zipper and you zipper it up some more, and it brings the angle back inside here, which basically it brings this up, and when it pulls this up right here, it will pull the base up. Now personally, I don't want to put a bunch of weight on a zipper, although that's probably, they designed it like that. It's probably a very, very heavy duty zipper. It's just, to me, I just don't have a warm fuzzy that it will last over a long period of time, which is the reason why we are making this little rigid frame right here that's very collapsible and very easy, hopefully, to set up. So the next step is, how can we get this mounted on this frame right here? Now before we go ahead and look, how are we going to mount the 4-part solar panel on this little A-frame that we have right here, this collapsible A-frame. Number 2, the other thing that we're trying to achieve today is how we can remote from the generator room to, say, out here. Now I want you to see that I actually placed a small picnic table. Actually works like a great support, a temporary support for solar collecting. Of course, you can't do any adjustment with a table, or maybe you can. Maybe a picnic table can also be made to do what we're trying to do with the little A-frame we have inside there. But what we're going to do is we are going to have a solution that will be able to take, when we set up our A-frame out here, or this picnic table right here, how we can get it about 15 or 16 meters back to the generator room. This is what plugs into the back of the EcoFlow Delta Pro, and then the MC4 connectors are what you would normally connect to your solar panels. Now, this is only about 3 meters long, and this is really not long enough. So what we're going to do today, I had the good people from Go Solar. I put a request in, and they custom fabricated some cables for me. These are basically extension cables. Let's see if I can get it out of the bag. This is a 15 meter extension cable that we are going to extend. We're going to extend our solar panels from this area right here all the way to our generator room. And we're going to check that out and see how that works. Now I have the connections made. They must have sent me more than 15 meters. They probably gave me a little bit of room. That's why I really like the people at the Go Solar company, because they go above and beyond on their customer service. I'll be able to go even a lot further than we have it right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back inside the generator room and see how much we are generating on these 400 watt panels. Now, I don't expect to get more than about 300, because that's normally what everybody gets on these. And here's what we're getting. We're actually getting right at 300 right now. Obviously the clouds keep moving, so it went down, and we're going back up towards 300 again. Okay, so you can see that works. There's no issue with that. Well, there you have it. We have one part of the two-part closed out. We're able to do an extension from the generator room out here to the driveway. I'm going to say about 16, 17 meters approximately. Okay, so now the next thing to do is to do some measurements on some of the mounting holes, the little mounting holes here on the panels, so that we can find some kind of technical solution to be able to put those on the rack, the little portable rack that we have, that we fabricated over the last day or so. Now, as of current date, this is what we have as far as our final solution for the stand, for the support for the EcoFlow solar panels, -1 black dog. So this is the bag, the carrying case that we showed earlier in today's video, and it was very difficult, flimsy. It's not really a good solution for you to set up even at a campground, no matter where you go, because it's not a very stable type of a system for support for your very expensive EcoFlow solar panels. Now over here, this is our answer. This is our answer to it, using some existing parts. Remember, these were parts that were the support stand for a tent, a little tent that you had if you have a party inside your backyard. As a matter of fact, this is what's left over right here from that tent stand. Those are the remaining pieces that we could use for another project around the house. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and set this up in just a moment, just to show you what it looks like and the solid support that we get for these panels, as opposed to this carrying case that we have over here. I do want to identify here that this, you can see it's very compact. If we had a nice canvas bag that we could put it in, we could carry this just like we would carry. So you would have two things to carry, your bag with your solar panels and this nice support system. And it would be very easy to carry, throw it in the back of a truck or in the back of your vehicle if you're going to go to a campsite, or even in your backyard. Anyway, right now I have a little bungee cord that's holding this together. We'll come up with a little bit better solution. But what I'm on hold for is some more of these little, let's see if we can get a better lighting position. You see these little bolts that go inside here, and these are quick release bolts. I have some over here. This is part of the package right here when we get it all put together. So basically these right here, and what you see right here is going to end up supporting this. Well, let's go ahead and get this put together so you can see what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. Here you have it. I don't know how many minutes. I got to go back and take a look, but I'm going to think something like around 10 minutes to put this entire support for the solar panels up. I want you to look at a few key details back here. You see, I was talking about these quick release items right here. These perform two different kind of functions for the securing of this section right here, but also when you have you remove it from here, this arm folds up and it connects back into this hole right here for storage. So you don't have loose things hanging around. There are a couple of loose things hanging around, and that's because I have a few more of these on order for some of the bottom supports. But you can see it's very stable. The system is a very, very, very stable system right now. It's nice and flat. Then that's what you want when you're trying to collect solar. You're trying to collect, you don't want something at a little bit of an angle on one side, a little bit of angle of another. You want all your panels to be all in the same direction. Now what we're going to do here in just a moment, we're going to take a look at the results from this. Now it's kind of a cloudy day today, and the sun is here and there, coming and going, but I just want to show you, I did do a preliminary test with this already, and I think you're going to be shocked at some of the results, because every one of the tests that I've seen before on YouTube, the results are normally right around 300 watts collective with this 400 watt solar panel. Of course, when they rate these at 400 watt, that's like in a laboratory environment. That's probably the best that you can possibly get. But I think a lot of the tests are being done in places like in North America, especially in the northern part of North America, like in the Seattle area and things like that. But the sun is so strong here in the Philippines, which this time of the year, it's actually the worst because this is the winter time. But the results I have are quite astonishing. We're going to look at that in just a moment. Now, I also want you to see, before we go back in and connect up the cables, I added some little casters to the bottom of all the wheels. So this can actually roll around a little bit, makes it a little bit easier if you're on a harder surface. Now, this is one of those things I actually do have to change the design on because of the angle of the wheels here, because of the actual frame, the original frame. I will probably get somebody with a 3D printer. We'll put a wedge inside here so that we can have a 90-degree angle to the ground for the casters. Now let's go ahead and connect our two extension cables to the solar panels. I went ahead and marked mine. You want to make sure that you always do your polarity correct, positive to positive, negative to negative. It's very important. You can do damage to your EcoFlow itself. So we're going to go ahead and connect these, and we're going to do a little bit of testing on the output with this system right here. So the sun is peeking in and out from the clouds, and I just want to show you something while we're able to take advantage of the sun being out right now. A good way to line up this system is by using the existing panel on the mounting bracket that we developed here. And if you look at the back, if you put this wheel along the line, oh, the sun is going away, so it's kind of hard to see. We'll wait for the sun to come back out again. Hold on. Okay, that was one huge cloud, and it's gone now. So what I was saying is, if you look at this, the back support leg, if you put it inside the shadow of the panel itself, and this one as well, and you put it inside the panel, then you can pretty much say it's aligned best from left to right. Now the angle going towards the sun, I'm not going to point you in the sun or we'll both be blind. Anyway, there are little devices that you can purchase to do alignments, but if you had like a cup, you could put a cup on here, and if the shadow is equal all the way around, then you know your angle is right as well. So I'm trying different angles. You can see the support leg. Remember, I designed it so that you can extend it and change the angle of the panel towards the sun. And we are now 1, 2 in the third position. We actually have 2 more positions we can go if we want to make the angle even higher going up to the sun. And we're going to see what kind of voltage we're able to pull from these 400 watt panels here today. We'll go back and take a look at the recording. Now, before we close today's episode, I just want to talk about these little makeshift stands that I have. They're just a couple of pieces of leftover plywood that I had to do the support when I lean the stand back, so it makes it a flat surface to put the panels on. It's not advisable to put the panels on in a position where it's already in a vertical position, you could actually do damage to the panels. So that made it very easy. And you can see it was very easy for one person to do that. It was actually harder to do this one by myself than it was with this system right here, because the stand acts as a support. So something to think about. You enjoyed today's episode. It was a fun project to do, and the thing, it only cost me about $65 or $70 from the price of the tent. The tent was about $60, and there was about $5 to $10 in those little screws and support brackets that we had to put on here. So it was a very inexpensive upgrade to our EcoFlow solar panel system. Now, if you enjoy projects like this, DIY, innovation, and you haven't checked into our channel, we've got a lot of great projects that we do here at Villa Feliz here in the Philippines. So please, if you can, jump in, subscribe to our channel, and take a look at the things that we have. We have a very big playlist of different types of things that we do here. Anyway, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on the little MPID Dream heart and the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, from right here in the very, very beautiful and hopefully we get lots of sun Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.